Oh, here we go. We're going live on Training and Development Tuesday with Dave and Laura at ATC Midwest. A little technical hiccup as we started there, caught us off guard, but we are live, and you got to put up with that when it's live.
So yeah, I heard you talking on the radio yesterday about sales.
All right, so today's topic, mate, we're going to be talking about sales.
Sales,
so,
yes.
Kick us off. Where do you want to start with that?
So obviously, you know, the market's a bit tough right now, and I've challenged a lot of business people. You know, we need to look at how we sell our business, and you know, what is it that people buy? What are you selling? Is there a conflict between what you think you're selling, what the customer is buying?
Okay.
Right. So first and foremost is make sure you're very clear on that, because what do people buy?
Products, services.
Do they?
People.
Well, they buy people, but they buy solutions to their problems.
Ah, right, okay.
Right, so and that's what I say, but that's the general notion. When we were in the boom, everything was going crazy. People just like, I need this, so you're just giving it to them.
Yeah.
Now it's different. So the market's different now. So what we need to really is, so what are the problems that people are facing right now, and then how can I solve that problem for them? Because people are buying solutions to their problems.
Okay.
That's what they're buying right now. And then through that, you know, you'll solve that problem maybe with products and services. But if you're thinking, I'm just selling you a product or a service, you're not thinking from the customer's perspective, and therefore you're not solving the problem for the customer. Right. And then all of a sudden, then you become competing product to product, and then when you're product to product, what's your product worth? What's your product worth?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you're competing on price, and then you're a commodity.
Right. See, I wish that we'd had these chats before I come to Geraldton. When I used to do a sales job. I used to be a salesman, and cold calls was like the final nail in the coffin of that job for me. I got to cold calls, couldn't do it. Yeah. And I think it might have been coming down to that. Is I was price this, that, not. Right,
so when you're on the phone, what were you trying to sell on the phone at the time?
The products. It's actually paper packaging products.
Right,
wrapping
okay.
paper.
Okay, so you start rapping about wrapping paper.
I know, I should have.
So interesting, once again, on the phone, what you should be selling on the phone is the value of a meeting with you. Okay. Not the product or service that you're trying to sell the customer once you get in front of them. If your goal is to get in front of somebody to have that great conversation to help discover needs, what we need to focus on is what's the best way for me to demonstrate value on the phone for a value of a meeting with me.
Yes, and then take it from there rather than trying to get the sale
don't try
closed
and
on the phone.
Close on the phone, even though you're still going to have to go in front of them anyway. So on the phone, sell the value of the meeting, then worry about the meeting, right? And make sure you're solving customers' problems for them.
Right.
Could you give us further advice about how to get some appointments and sort of, I suppose, how to help people get more out of your business?
Yeah, sure. So yesterday on #AskATC talked about sales and selling the value of a meeting with you. Rather, when people are on the phone making calls, they're trying to sell what they do. Yeah. And I said, really when you're on the phone, what you should be doing is selling the value of a meeting with you. And then once you get that meeting, then of course, then you do your thing and help identify the customer's needs and everything, and help them, solve that with your products and services. Because we don't sell products and services. People don't buy products and services; they buy answers to their problems or solutions to their problems. And those tools that or products or services are the tools in which you help solve that. But what I find with a lot of salespeople, and certainly I've dealt with a lot, certainly trained a lot of salespeople over the years in Canada, here in Australia, and with our Relax Selling that we run here at ATC. But one of the things that we work with people on is actually helping them to understand their numbers. Yeah. I mean, sales is a numbers game in the end, but first you need to understand your numbers. So just as an example, if you look at the basic stages of a sales process, there's, calls. You have to get on the phone, you have to make some calls. Now, nobody likes making cold calls, or very few people do. If you do, you're a very special person, well done. But nobody really likes to make cold calls. So ideally, the best thing is to find a way to make warm calls, but you still have to make calls. Right? So let's just use this as an example. Say you have, in the week you want to make 100 phone calls. Okay, great. And then out of those calls, you're going to call a bunch of people. You're hoping to get contacts, which is speak to somebody on the other end of the phone. And ideally, in this case, the economic decision maker, the person you want to speak to. All right? So then, let's say for every 100 calls that you make, you get hold of one in every 2 persons. So you make 50 contacts. All right? So now I've got 50 people that I've actually got on the phone. Now, out of those 50 people, if I'm lucky, for example, I might convert them, because I'm pretty good, not great, but I'm pretty good, get 20 of them to have an appointment with me. So all of a sudden now I've got 20 appointments from my 50 people I spoke to on the phone. All right, because I sold the value of a meeting with me, and 20 of them said yes. Yep. If you're smart, you would say yes to me. All right, and to Laura, of course. So with 20. And then with that, just for example, we're out there, it's a tough market, totally understand that, but say I got 5 of those 20 to actually close the deal. And say average deal price, we'll call it $500. as an example. Okay? So if I did that, then I would have made $2,500 in sales. And if I did this in a week, so I made 100 dials, got hold of 50 people, made 20 appointments, closed 5 deals at an average value of $500 a deal, I've made $2,500. Okay? That's not bad. So Laura, you're closing $2,500 a week. Well done. Congratulations. What if you want to close $5,000 a week?
I suppose you double.
Yeah, so what you're thinking is you'd have to double it, right? So then I'd have to do 200 phone calls to get 100 contacts, to get 40, to get 10, to get 5,000. Right? Pretty simple math. So here's the challenge though. If this was taking you a week to do, Laura, and you were spending your 40 hours productively achieving this, based on your theory, how many hours would you now have to spend doing this?
80.
80.
Yep.
So I would challenge anybody out there, how many would like to double their results, but not double the amount of work that you have to do to get there? Do you want to work 80 hours a week?
Not really, no.
Okay, especially when we don't pay by the hour. That's right. So a lot of organizations, especially salespeople, don't get paid by the hour. Doubling your results here, initially we would think is that. So what I'd like to share with you in a sense of training is what I call my rule of 15. Right? So it's Dave's rule of 15. Right? Which is actually 15%. So if I got 15% better at every stage of the process, right? And this is something we work on with relaxed selling, is how to get better in a lot of ways through your whole part of your process. But if I could get better at each of these stages by just 15%, let's see what would happen mathematically. I'm going to use a different color. Yes, different colors here. Hopefully the red will show up. So, for example, if I made 100 dials, okay, I'm going to make 15% more, so I'd make 115 phone calls. Okay, so I'm going to make 115. Now, if I'm converting at 50% right now, so if I made a 15% better, if I made my calls at a better time, found a better way or time to make my phone calls, to get hold of people, I can get hold of a few more people, right? And there's a lot of ways you can do that. But if I can get 15% better, so that's a conversion rate of 50, at 115, 50 times 1.15 would be 65%, which would equal about 66. You guys can check my math here. So if I got 15% better here on the 15% more phone calls that I made, I would actually have 66 people I would get hold of. Then I'm converting number of contacts to appointments at 40%. So if I got better at that, it'd be close to 46% of that, which would be probably just close to 30. Okay, 30 appointments. All right, for the week. And then if I got a little bit better at my number of closes, 15% times 4 is 5.5, would be 8 point something. Very in the high ends of 8s would say 9. So we'll go 9 deals there. And because I'm much better at my thing, if I upsold by another 15%, which would mean I would be selling at $575 instead of $500. That should equal out at 9 times 5, 4,500 times 175, be close to, I don't know, around $5,175. So you can do the calculation. I've done some rough calculations on this already, but this should be about right. So you can see my 40 hours a week, to double it, I'd have to go to 80, or if I just got 15% better, made 15% more calls, improved a little bit at my call to contact, like when I called customers to get hold of more people, then if I improved the actual conversations I was having on the phone, I got more appointments. If I got a little bit better in my appointments, I'd close more deals, and if I actually would helping the customers a little bit more, I'd actually be able to increase the sale value. Yep. And therefore, I'd all of a sudden be doubling my results without having to double my time to do so. So, when you're looking, if you're a salesperson, you're in a sales role, if you have to make phone calls, whatever, real estate people, a lot of real estate agents have to do that. Yep. You name it, whatever industry that you're in, if you have to pick up the phone and dial to make some calls to people, and you'd like to double your results, you can without doubling your workload. Is seek to get a little bit better at every stage of the process. But you need to start with knowing what your numbers are today, so then you can say, okay, this is my average numbers now, and then if I'd like to double that by doing 15% better, what would I need to do? If you'd like some more information on this, don't hesitate to give us a call here at ATC. Email us at training@atc-midwest.com.au or call the office on 99231400. And you can ask to speak to Laura or Dave, and we can get you some more information about relaxed selling or anything else. If there's any other topics you'd be interested in understanding about sales, we're here to add value to you guys. We would love to give you some more information. So they, get hold of the brains of the operation here, and then we can organise that.
Yeah.
So outside of that, anything else we need to cover?
I think that's pretty much it.
Did I do okay?
Yep.
Good. Seal of approval from Laura. Thanks so much for tuning in to #Training and Development Tuesdays. I assure you, Laura will probably be back next week with a really good thing that will get her to do some training and development. So you don't have to keep listening to me, but it's always great to have Laura here. So till then, we'll see you next Tuesday.